Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Okay, people, welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing good this Wednesday morning. As always, guys, if you are new to the stream, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It does really help out the channel, of course. Make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. If you want to stay in the loop of things, make sure you check out my Telegram channel, link in the description to that. Share my updates there, trades, watches for the week, videos I create, all the good stuff. So feel free to check that out. And if you are looking for a broker, I do have my affiliate link to IC Markets, the broker I'm using, at the top of the chat. So if you want to check them out, feel free to use the link if you want to. But yeah, guys, welcome back to another stream. So we'll take a look at some pairs. I've got a couple pairs I'm looking at. One definitely which potentially could give me some entries very, very soon. Which is Aussie dollar, which I will go over. What's up, Vanessa? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Which pair in the AUD is good for sales? AUD CAD, AUD CHF, or AUD USD? Well, funny enough, I'm actually looking at shorting AUD USD myself if I get the entry, which hasn't quite arrived yet, but it's in the vicinity, which I want to sell it. I just need to see the price action, the candlestick patterns, which I'm looking for, but I'll go for all of them because I am also looking at Aussie Swiss for some sales as well. It's not quite got the confidence I'm looking for, but again, potentially could develop into a trade pretty soon. AUD CAD, not so much. Of course, we'll go touch on those pairs. Tony Gold, what's up? Hope you're doing well. No side, what is up? Pound, I suppose that means pound yen. We'll take a look at pound yen as well. But yeah, guys, welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is well. But we've got another trading day on our hands. So I'll start with AUD CAD and then we'll go to AUD CHF and AUD USD. So AUD CAD, this one I'm not quite sold on for any shorts. I mean, the overall direction of the market is still very much down. So in terms of my bias, it definitely is bearish for the pair. I do still see more downside for AUD CAD longer term. I've been talking about this low down here as a longer term target. We're working towards, this is the weekly time frame, by the way. So when I mean longer term, I mean longer term. But as we can see, we are failing to break these lows here. So AUD CAD's kind of start between a rock and a hard place right now. It's kind of reacting with a big low, so I'm not really too keen on shorting AUD CAD, just because we are reacting with a pretty substantial area here on the left. And I did say if you are looking to short AUD CAD, there might be some better shorts if price was to go a little bit higher. So we are still kind of trading this bearish channel here, connecting the lower highs there. If I clone that and bring it to the downside, you can see we're pretty much hanging on to the lows there as well. So I said yesterday, if we do come back into the resistance here with the trend line, this is a nice place to go short in AUD CAD, because it gives you a pretty safe place to put your stop loss. If you're looking to get in against some shorts, your stop loss is above the zone there and above the trend line. So if the market is going to continue this channel, you know, this is a very nice place to do it. Risk to reward looks pretty good as well. Back to the lows, potentially new lows as well. So AUD CAD shorts does look good. We are reacting with some areas on the lower time frames in this vicinity over here. So you know, the market is kind of reacting to that. Potentially we might form a lower high and fall there. But I've got the probability a little bit higher. So I would rather wait for price to push up. Again, AUD CAD is not really a pair I'm looking at this week, but if I was, I'll be waiting for price to come a little bit higher for me personally. But yeah, AUD CAD I'm bearish bias, so if I had to trade this pair, I would still be looking for sells. As long as we don't see a break of structure, a move like this, then I will still be looking to short the pair, anticipating eventually a bigger move into that weekly level down there. So yeah, for Aussie CAD, sells do look good, but I'll wait for this one to come a little bit higher first before waiting for any type of entry or anything. But yeah, I do see some more downside for AUD CAD in the near future. Aussie Swiss, this one was on, well, still is on my watch list coming into the week. Feel free to follow me on TradingView, but I did post some analysis for this one coming into the week, looking for price to come back into this area with the trendline confluence and looking for us to roll over back into the low. So Aussie Swiss is coming into that area. I wanted to tag the trend line before we do see some entries for the sell. So that's what I meant in terms of Aussie Swiss. It's coming into a nice area. Not quite got all the confidence I'm looking for. But yeah, I do think from here we potentially could see another lower high, continue that trend, and see the next drop back into the price swing low on the left. So Aussie Swiss is definitely a pair I'm keeping my eye on, but it needs to tag the trend line before I consider shorting. In terms of the destination, it's this low I'm looking at, and we can see the structure is pretty clear, you know, bearish for us to see, but not quite in my vicinity yet, just for some shorts. But yeah, if we can move sideways a little bit more, or potentially see a big wick to the upside, tagging the trend line, that would be nice. And some shorts back into the prior low as well. Risk to reward looks pretty good too. So yeah, Aussie Swiss looks pretty good for some sells. Again, they're all AUD pairs, so at the end of the day, they're all going to move fairly similar. Of course, they are partnered with other currencies, so any news surrounding the other currencies will play a part. But you know, if you look at Aussie pairs in general, they kind of do move the same way for 90% of the time. You know, if Aussie CAD's falling, most of the time Aussie Swiss is falling, most of the time Aussie dollar's falling, most of the time Aussie yen as well, but the yen pairs have been a bit different for the past couple of years. Yeah, I am bearish on most Aussie pairs going forward, and of course Aussie dollar, which is a pair I'm looking to short myself if I can get an entry signal, which could be in the next 45 minutes potentially. I'm looking at shorting AUSD for another lower high for a big drop to the downside back into 0.62, which is the lows here. Excuse me, which is the lows down there. We're not too far away from that area. I'm looking for a lower high in this vicinity. If I go to my watch list, we had some shorts planned for AUSD coming back into this area and looking for us to sell over. So you can see we are in that area. I'm just waiting for a nice shift of momentum for my entry signal, and you can see this particular area, a lot of rejections in this vicinity. We've got one over here, over there as well. I'm really liking the wicks in this area. And we just gone and printed another one. So if we can see a nice shift in momentum, I'll use that as my entry signal. Stops just above the high relatively, and targets pushing to the downside. I'm looking to change the way I manage my trades as well. I'm looking to hold my trades a little bit longer. I've been going through my results, my data, and I've concluded that I do leave money on the table on some occasions, because the way I view the market is more of a, not longer term, but I do look at longer term targets when I trade. So most of the time, my analysis does play out in the longer run, which allows me to hold my trade for a little bit longer. But most of the time, I do cut my trades around the 1 to 3. So I'm going to look to see if I can stretch my trades a little bit more by changing my management system a little bit. But again, the idea of the trade is still the same. So yeah, waiting for some shorts for Aussie dollar. You can see at the moment that the market is still a little bit bullish. We did see some type of reaction a couple of hours ago, small bearish engulfing. But again, that doesn't really do it for me. I need to see a bigger shift in momentum than that to consider shorting. So if I can see a bigger bearish engulfing candle, that would be my entry. Stop loss above the high, and then looking to target the lows down there. That's the plan with Aussie dollar, but of course waiting for the entry signal. And for all we know, we could continue this bullish structure and actually break to the upside. So I need to wait patiently. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at in terms of the Aussie pairs. Yeah, pound yen, I'll take a look at next. Morning, Anus, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Low probability conditions for me with all what's going around. Yeah, again, I'm reviewing myself and my journal these days. Nice, good. I mean, again, when the market's a little bit stale for yourself and you're not really seeing as many opportunities, there's no point of you just staring at the market, trying to set up into the market, trying to force something out of the market, which is obviously gonna end badly 9 times out of 10. So the best thing to do, is put your time into something productive, like reviewing your journal, reviewing results, making tweaks if you can, seeing how your process, your progress as well is heading, and if it's in the right direction, that's all good. And if everything's all good, you can take some time off as well. But yeah, very, very important skill to learn when to get involved in the market, when not to. I think that's a lot down to experience, and of course a lot down to like discipline and knowing your strategy and your system well too. I think that's definitely an important factor, but I think it really does come down to experience in the market. Knowing when to trade, seeing when your system does well, seeing when it doesn't do well, and then being able to differentiate between the two. But yeah, I mean, of course, if it's not seeing the correct conditions, then the best thing to do is sit on your hands, and reviewing your journal definitely won't hurt. Aussie dollar, yeah, just had a look at Aussie dollar. What's up, Rowan? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. I'm looking to sell Aussie dollar. Sell stop 0.63750. TP at 0.62500. Okay, let's see where that is. 0.63750. 3750. So that's approximately there-ish. That's 351. I mean 751, but more or less at that area. And your take profit 0.62500 to 500. That's more or less there. Not bad at all. Risk rewards looking pretty good. I assume your stop loss maybe above the high somewhere here, maybe above that high. But yeah, I mean, that's similar to what I'm looking for as well. Very, very similar to what I'm looking at as well. I'm just going to wait for candlestick entry. That's how I always enter the market. I don't use orders, not because they don't work. It's just I've never had any practice with them. I've always used market execution. So yeah, that's where I use for my trading. But yeah, if I see the candlestick pattern I'm looking at, probably a similar area to where your sell stop is. I'll probably look to enter the market depending on the candle, of course. But yeah, I'll be looking to capitalize on a very similar move too. And I'll be looking at holding trade a little bit longer into the low here. Of course, we may not get there, but that will be the plan for the trade anyway. So yeah, Aussie dollar looking very, very interesting. So of course, now it's just a waiting game, waiting for price to actually give me the signal. Of course, you waiting for your sell stop to be triggered. And yeah, and then get involved into the market. So I will keep an eye, close eye on Aussie dollar on the candle closures. I don't want to miss the trade. But yeah, we'll take a look at pound yen. I was supposed to look at that one before. Gold as well, Leo, no problem. We'll take a look at gold. Gold's been pretty bullish last time I checked. But first, yeah, pound yen's been a little bit messy all over the place. We've tagged support, we've tagged resistance and rejected them both. Of course, we did see the yen pairs kind of move very interestingly yesterday. Big moves to the downside, but then of course that completely flipped on its head. Then the market was quite bullish since that. So yeah, the yen pairs have been pretty interesting, and they're looking all pretty bullish. I mean, Swiss yen, I think Swiss yen might have just placed in some new highs actually. Yeah, it has done. So Swiss yen is creating some new highs. NZD-JPY not so much with that one. Pound yen's kind of a bit sideways. Euro yen looks like it's trying to break through this resistance here. If it does, then expecting price to come there. CAD yen, this one's still looking pretty bullish. If you can get a nice break above the high here, I do expect to see CAD yen come back to the high of 111. And Aussie yen, this one's a little bit messy as well. Still got a big level ahead of us too, but if you break through that, then 96,800 looks likely too. But anyway, for pound yen, so pound yen, I'm not really seeing a clear opportunity. The market's respected support a couple of times and resistance as well. So, shorts do look okay up here on the lower time frames, but it's not so much a trending market we're taking advantage of anymore. It's more that price is kind of moving sideways, respecting a level of resistance above it. We could see a nice reaction at that level. So it's not really, in terms of my books anyway, a very high probability opportunity. It's more that price is just rejecting a certain area, because in terms of the direction of pound yen, it's quite choppy. Coming into the week, I was favoring some sells up around here for a move into the low here. We did see that kind of happen halfway before the market is stalling. And if the market has to come back here again to retest it, it's hard to see us suddenly just melt into the downside. Of course, there's a probability, but I wouldn't say it's a likely one either. So with pound yen, I'll kind of pause with this one, see which way we break. If we do start breaking through these highs here, wrong tool, breaking through the level there and create some new highs, then possibly we've got a reversal on our hands. Could be looking at price coming back to 185, 186 potentially. If you start breaking the low, then of course we can discuss some short opportunities. But at the moment, I wouldn't say I'm clear in terms of the bias I have for pound yen, because it has been quite choppy. But if this is going to be the next higher low in comparison to this low here, we're seeing a higher high in comparison to that high, the market starts committing to the upside again, then yeah, taking some buys on the break and retest and following that momentum to the upside makes a lot more sense, because at that point we've got a bit of a trend to follow. So it looks like pound yen could be doing a very slow reversal here, kind of like a bit of an inverse head and shoulder, if you will. Maybe it's a bit of a reach, but it fits the mold. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for pound yen. But again, I wouldn't jump into any buys just yet. Like I said, I want price to start breaking through, and then pullbacks after that would make a lot more sense. So yeah, pound yen, I would stay away in this vicinity here, but it does look like we could be shifting bullish, and once we get the break of structure, then the pullbacks after that would make a lot more sense to me anyway. And you've got some nice targets to aim for back at the highs there as well. So risk reward looks pretty attractive as well. But yeah, I mean, across the board, it does look like yen pairs are gaining their strength again. Like I said, Swiss yen, new highs there. Euro yen, obviously nothing quite cemented with this one. We're still been ranging for quite a while, so I'd wait for the breakout to happen before cementing a bias or anything. CAD yen, for me, that's still bullish. Of course, 109, 900, that breaks. Buys above that do look very good as well. This is what I was talking about in my weekly analysis, because we're still printing in those higher lows. So I do still like the buys there for CAD Yen as well. NZJPY, this one's a little bit different. It's not, I mean, it is still a bullish market, but it's a very weak one. And it's nothing that I would be so keen to trade. Same with Aussie Yen as well. But yeah, it was interesting because we did have a very aggressive sell-off, and that completely turned on its head by the end of the 4H candle. So yeah, hopefully that made sense for pound yen. I'll go over to gold in a second. As what is up, have my eye on Aussie Swiss. My area of interest is 0.575. Psychological level for sales. Okay, we'll take a look at Aussie Swiss. I'm bearish on that one as well. I do prefer Aussie dollar, so AUSD. Not planning to trade them both, but yeah, I plan to trade one of them. At the moment, I'm leaning towards AUSD, but they're very similar pairs anyway. If Aussie dollar falls, 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, Aussie Swiss is going to be falling as well. Maybe at different paces, but they do move in the same direction most of the time. Frenesis, thanks Miko, your take on gold. I see on the 4 hour it's the resistance. Yep, we'll take a look at gold now. Kingsley, good morning. Hope you're well. Please share your analysis on Bitcoin. Okay. Good day, good people. What's up? Balataf FX. I think I said that correctly. Hope you're well. Any pairs you're looking at, feel free to share, but we'll take a look at gold now. So yeah, gold's been exceptionally bullish. So like I said, coming into the week, we have this kind of big V-shaped pattern on the daily chart, and this most times does indicate the market is about to reverse and actually head higher. When we do see these V-shaped patterns, it mostly represents a big fake in one direction for the market to move higher, possibly taking out these lows here, coming back into a strong area down there, and now potentially using that to head higher. So that's kind of the thought process when I do see a V-shaped pattern, especially one as exaggerated as this one. Of course, a lot of fundamental activities have played a big part in gold, but price action is still price action. We're still seeing higher highs and higher lows. We're still seeing momentum. So as a price action trader, as a technical trader, I'm always looking at the market from that lens. And yeah, I do expect to see price break higher. Of course, now it's coming to some resistance, so it wouldn't be a logical time to start buying gold, at least. At least on like the 4H or the hourly chart, maybe on the lower time frames, you might find a small intraday move. But generally speaking, we're coming back into a big level of resistance supply, where sellers will be sitting to try and drive price lower. I wouldn't look to sell it at all. The market is way too bullish for me to consider to sell, and it's just not in a good place to buy even. Also, this is a nice example of kind of like a V-shaped pattern, where the market kind of breaks to the upside impulsively and then breaks back down as well. And then, of course, as you can see, we ended up moving lower. And that's kind of what we've seen on a bigger scale, but on the daily chart, going the opposite direction. And the big V shape there going down to go up. So yeah, gold and bullish. I do think there's a good chance we'll probably break the resistance here. But of course, I wouldn't look to buy now. Now is not really a good time to buy with gold trading back at this resistance level. I think the next best opportunity with gold, if we can start breaking through, and keep up this bullish momentum, and then look for some breaking retest above it. And yeah, that's probably the best I've got for gold at the moment. We were talking about some lower time frame buys. We did kind of see that a little bit yesterday with these higher lows. So low, high, low, high, low. Of course, this kind of occurred out of session, so it'd be difficult to kind of catch this move. But nonetheless, we did kind of see the breaking retest we were looking for. But yeah, now that price is at that resistance, I would probably leave gold alone. Because although I do expect more upside, although it's bullish, we have to be careful where we're buying. It doesn't really make too much sense looking to get involved in the market at these prices. So yeah, I'm bullish on gold. Probably can see some new highs past these points here. But I'm not seeing a good opportunity to buy it. I think the train's left the station. And yeah, waiting for price to clear it and then pull back would be a smart decision. We'll touch on Aussie Swiss, and then we'll take a look at Bitcoin as well. Prod, what is up? produced by Alexander. Good morning. Looking at gold, okay. Is that first sell zone? Can't see it. Yeah, first sell zone at 1950. So yeah, you're going for the sell there. Fair play. I mean, I'm pretty bullish on gold, so I would not be looking to sell it at all. But yeah, it's a nice level of resistance. It's right at the high there, so approximately if you're looking to sell, it's not a bad place to do it. But yeah, that is a lot of bullish momentum, so it's a little bit difficult to really short that with all that momentum and try and call the top. But of course, if you've got a system in place, you've got your risk management in place, and of course, if it's a trade you plan to take, a trade that fits the plan, then by all means, do what you need to do. But for me, myself, and I'm staying away from the short side of things just because there's a lot of momentum. Typically with these patterns, we expect price to break higher anyway. So I'll be backing off and seeing what we do at these prices. If we break through, then I'm expecting more continuation to the upside. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice place to sell. It's just that this is such a difficult move to call the top on and try and short because there's just so much momentum there. And typically these patterns price moves higher. So that's my only kind of red flag there. But we'll see what happens. The key thing for the buyers is if price can break it anyway. But yeah, let me take a look at Bitcoin. So yeah, Bitcoin's still struggling to break through 28K. So I did say yesterday this is still a nice place to be looking for shorts. Again, it's a nice place to be looking for shorts, but in terms of the price action, it's a little bit rubbish here. I'm not gonna lie, it's just very sideways at this point in time. I don't think it's a nice kind of place to. I mean, it's a nice place to short, but in terms of the price action, it's a little bit horrendous. So I'll keep an eye on Bitcoin. Maybe if we can get a strong bearish engulfing on the full H, that would be a nice entry signal, kind of breaking out of this consolidation, because anything in here is 50-50 really. Of course, we do have that big zone backing us for a sell-off, but at the same time, you want to wait for a good kind of entry signal. At the moment, we're kind of just moving sideways. So a nice big bearish engulfing breaking through, showing a big shift of momentum. That would be a nice entry signal. And of course, if everything goes to plan, we could be seeing Bitcoin coming back into the lows here. If we do break through the zone here, that's when I'll back away and kind of sit on my hands with my bias on Bitcoin. But for now, it is still bearish as long as we hold this 28,600 level, we'll call it. As long as we can hold that level, I do see some more downside for Bitcoin. And targets around the 25K mark, we'll call it as well. So yeah, Bitcoin's still bearish on. I know we've had a crazy move to the upside this week. Pushing to the upside, coming to that level, big wick to the upside, but we're still holding key areas of resistance, still holding key areas in the market. So if we can continue to hold these areas, reject them, I still do have that bearish bias. If we don't, then of course I'll sit in my hands. At the end of the day, everything's probabilities as well. So if we do break through, there's no love lost with Bitcoin. Just need to pivot, see what happens, reanalyze, and maybe come up with another bias. If things don't look clear to me, then of course I'll just stay neutral until they do. But at the moment, I am still bearish on Bitcoin. Okay, so hopefully that made sense on Bitcoin. Good morning, FX Wolf. Hope you're good. Pound Yen, Euro Yen, okay. We'll take a look. As I discussed with the yen pairs, I am leaning towards the buy side of things with the yen pairs. It does look like they could be slowly turning bullish. I mean, some more than others. NZD JPY is kind of a weird one, but pound yen, if we can start breaking through, I do like the buys for this one. Talking about a inverse head and shoulder, although it might be a little bit difficult to spot, kind of fits the mold, and could be seeing price start picking up some of these higher lows because we are just creating some higher highs recently past this point here. So if we can start breaking above, some pullbacks, some buys make sense. And as I was touching on before, we got some nice targets to aim for up there as well. So that's kind of the setup I'm looking at for pound yen. Euro yen, I think, is very straightforward. We've got a big consolidation on our hands here. If you're looking to trade the consolidation, looking to trade back and forth, then you've got yourself nice levels to work with. Pretty much every time price has got there, we've seen a successful rejection. The market's come all the way back down to the low, and that's a great place for a take profit. So if you're looking to trade the range, then that's your place to short. If you're looking for the breakout and waiting for a bit of a trend to establish itself back in the markets again, then you're waiting for price to break above it and look for buys or look for sells if you break below. But if you do clear the high of the range here, the next important key level is the swing high up there, which is at 159.695. So I think the analysis is pretty straightforward with Euro Yen in terms of destination, in terms of what your plan is. If you're looking to trade the consolidation, trade the range, you've got your range there. If you're waiting for the breakouts, the retest, the continuations, and of course you've got your analysis over there. If the price does break the high, solid candle closure above, you're looking at price coming back into the swing high. Downside, maybe not as clear in terms of the targets. I mean, I would consider this area here because that's where the wick stopped, around 155.900. Other than that, not too sure, because going to the downside is counter trend in my book still. I still deem this to be a bullish market in Euro Yen. So with the shorts, I'll be a little bit more conservative with my take profits. Whereas with the buys, you can be a little bit more, not greedy, but a bit more aggressive. I think that's the correct word, a bit more aggressive with your take profits, because you've got the wind in your sails from the higher time frames, and everything's kind of in your favor. But at the moment, if we do break lower, I think 155.900 into the low makes sense. Possibly the low of the wick there as well, but I think it's a little bit too aggressive. But Euro Yen, waiting for the breakout or look to play the range, completely up to you. But at the moment, Aussie dollar still the top of the watch list. Just need to wait for entry confirmation. Do we have dollar news today? I just need to check, see what's going on, because the closer we get to the news, the closer I could be entering during the news if there is news today. Okay, so we got building permits for dollar. Not really something to be too scared about. Of course, it is high impact, so we might still see a bit of moves caused by that, but I don't expect anything too crazy from that. Hope I don't jinx it. But building permits, I won't be too scared about trading through. Oh, we do have Aussie unemployment rate at 130 in the morning, so that could affect the trade there quite nicely. But of course, as a swing trader, I'm always expecting to hold trades through news at some point, sooner or later. If I'm holding a trade a day, 2 days, 3 days, then I'm expecting to at least come into some type of news at some point. So all I do in terms of news, in terms of fundamentals, is make sure I'm not entering just before news, really. Because that's when my stop loss could be vulnerable due to wicks and spreads increasing as well. So that's kind of where I'm standing on news. In terms of the big news like NFP, FOMC, then I want to be able to make sure I'm not running into those. But again, if I need to hold a trade through one of those events, I will happily do so as well. And then we got some dollar news tomorrow too. But unemployment rate later today, that could be interesting, or early tomorrow morning. Anyway, so waiting for an entry signal on Aussie dollar, which could happen in the next 20 minutes. So if it does, I will take the trade and stop loss above the high, something like this. Stop loss above the high around there, just a few pips of wiggle room. And targets, I'll be looking at the low down here. So risk to reward looks pretty handsome on this trade. Again, I am switching up my management system. So typically my risk to reward is like 1 to 3 on average. But I'm looking to change that up a little bit. Not necessarily just going for big trades all the time. Sometimes it'll be big trades, sometimes it'll be smaller trades. But in terms of how I push my trades further, because again, I seem to have a lot of pips on the table going across my trades. I can see where the market could be going from a daily, weekly standpoint. So when I do get into these trades on the hourly and the 4H time frame, sometimes they do end up going the distance. And if you do the maths, if I can get these bigger trades in and these bigger risk to rewards, it means I can trade less as well and trade more precisely. So I can, still attain the same kind of profits that I'm obtaining now, but within less trades because I'm holding my trades further. So in terms of the efficiency of the system, in terms of the drawdown will occur in the future as well, it will be better. So this is kind of how I'm looking to change my system up, and I will be going to break even at 1 hour as well. So that's kind of the change I've made. And we'll see how it goes for the next few months. And then if I need to change anything, I will in the future. Anyway, where was I? Pound, yen, euro, yen, I did that. ANS Pro, I wrote down on paper all errors that I've made during the past 3 months. And I'm planning to check them every day before I start trading good, to keep them in mind. Have you done this before? Of course, ANS. That was kind of one of the first things I did when I started really becoming in tune with my journaling and my reflection. I think, journaling is all well and good, just writing down what you did, your emotions, whatever, the trade, the screenshots, that's all well and good, but it doesn't really serve a purpose if you don't go through the journal, really reflect it and see what the errors you are making, and then putting those errors, in a folder. Because what I have on Notion, which is, I've got a section which I call tweak. And what I mean by tweak is just the tweaks I'm making as I go along. So every time I make a mistake or I do something which I can see is a recurring pattern in my trading, I will take whatever it is, say I'm hesitating for my entries, I'll take with that, and then I'll put it into the tweaks folder. So every time I'm going through my trading plan, I also go through my tweaks folder, which tells me everything that I've tweaked over the last 18 months. So I can see all the progress I've made, all the tweaks I've made to get from 0 to where I am today, and any new tweaks I need to make, like with my trade management, I also drop it in there. So the tweak folder is almost a secret weapon, and it's very tailored to yourself as well, because it has everything that you tweak to make yourself better. And the important thing of still going over that tweak folder, pretty much every time you trade, is that it refreshes the errors you made in your past and makes you aware of what you need to do to stay away from those errors so they don't come back into your trading. So yeah, doing what you did there, writing down your errors, going through them before you start trading is very essential, because it's very easy to journal, and then what you journaled a month ago, you'd forget because it's a month ago. So it will have no purpose to you if you just write it down and don't go over the key points again. So taking the key points from your journal, put it in a nice folder or whatever, wherever it is. It doesn't have to be, you can write it down on a piece of paper or whatever. As long as you got it somewhere you can reflect to and focus on, that's where the big difference is made. So yeah, I would highly recommend everyone to journal, but of course take the key points where you're going wrong and go over those points, because that's where you're going to improve. But yeah, good on you, Anus. That's definitely putting you above a lot of people, because you imagine the average trader, number one, the average trader is not even journaling, and number two, the people who journal don't even journal correctly as well. So you're putting yourself ahead of a lot of people by just doing those things alone. Michael, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Please look at gold at a long term. Okay, I'll go to the higher time frames. Zark, what's up? Euro Swiss. Okay, we'll take a look. Dollar CAD, Samiran. Hope I'm saying that correct. Samiran. Pound CAD, gaming scenario, sure thing. King Ibrahim, GU, sure thing. Dollar CAD, Pound CAD. Yeah, we'll take a look. Break even at I'll go to break even at 1-to-1. I'll secure excuse me, my voice is a bit croaky. I'll go to break even at 1-to-1. I'll take 25% partials at 1-to-1 and let the trade run to wherever my take profit is. No trading stop loss, no whatever. Just let it run to my final target. So that's the new system I'm going to be trialing out from now onwards. But yeah, the important thing is it's not about your trade frequency. It's not about trading a bunch. It's about being accurate and looking for the higher time frame targets to play out. So that's where the effectiveness is in the system. But yeah, I'll be going to break even at a 1-to-1, take 25% partials, and let it run to my end goal basically, which is going to be the low down here. And yeah, Aussie dollar's picking up some nice momentum, by the way. Could be seeing an entry pretty soon. And I've also just started my prop firm challenge with funding pips as well. So if I do get a trade here, this will be the first trade I take on the challenge account. I'll be doing a video, like an introduction video, and starting off the challenge officially on the channel probably this Friday. Yeah, it will be this Friday. So I will post that this Friday, kind of introducing the challenge and all the good stuff. But yeah, I probably will be taking the first trade on the challenge account if I do get a signal here. So we'll wait and see. Make sure keep an eye on Aussie dollar. We've got about 13 minutes before candles close. But I will go through a few pairs before that. I don't feel need to journal anymore. No new learning. Should I still journal? Of course, gaming scenario, of course. Even for me, I still journal, even though I feel like, I've got a system, I've got my edge. 100% need to journal, because the journal is kind of what got you the awareness to be profitable in the first place. And if you don't journal, which, probably won't have such a big hindrance. If you're already profitable, you got an edge, you kind of got the know-how. I don't think not journaling will suddenly make you not profitable anymore. Of course not. But, the whole point of journaling, if you bring it down to its fundamental reason, the purpose of journaling is self-awareness, reflection, and improvement. And, wherever you are at your stage in trading, whether you've been trading for 20 years and you've got 20-year track record, you're one of the best traders in the game, or you're just starting out, everyone still has the mentality of staying self-aware, staying aware of your mistakes, and looking to improve. So, journaling, if you get to a certain stage, you don't have to be so detailed in journaling anymore in terms of every single emotion that arises in your trading. Of course not, but in terms of just recording your trades, the screenshots, your thought processes, reviewing your mistakes, and those are the key things that you should always have in your journey. You should always be doing throughout your trading career. Because again, trading, there's not a lot to do in trading if you really think about it. Taking trades only takes 15 seconds to place an order or whatever. There's not a lot to do in trading apart from your analysis, monitoring the charts here and there. You could be done trading in 60 minutes in a day, and you could encompass all your trading in 60 minutes. So, spending extra 20, 30 minutes journaling as well each day or at the end of each week, isn't much to do extra. So I think in terms of the effort needed to journal and the reward it gives you, I think it's definitely worth time, worth your effort. So yeah, I would definitely recommend still journal, because again, you'll be seeing good growth in your trading, but there could be some mistakes that you're not aware of, and journaling will show them to you, and you can correct them, and you could be doing twice as good as you are now potentially. So I would still recommend journal. Again, it doesn't have to be as detailed in terms of every single emotion or whatever you're feeling, but the core things of screenshots of your entries, reason you've entered the trade, your thought processes, anything that you need to comment on as well, potential mistakes you did, whether you missed the trade or not. These are all important things that will build up an arsenal from time to time. Because if you keep trading for the next 10, 20 years, imagine the information, the data, the insights you'll have in your trading as you go along, which will just make you so much sharp at the end of that 20 years, that not journaling would never give you that kind of information. So I highly recommend to still keep it up. Zark, bro, that Risharod looks spicy. I might copy your trade. Yeah, it does look spicy as well. I don't normally take trades as big as this. I have done in the past, but over the past I want to say maybe 14, 15 months, I've been keeping it around 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s, 1 to 4s, nothing really bigger than that. If this was me pretty much last week. I'll keep it to this level here, which is still 1 to 3, which is still a great risk reward. Don't get me wrong, 1 to 3 is a great risk reward, but it's not me trying to chase bigger risk rewards. It's simply me looking at my data and seeing that, okay, I do leave money in the table. I can look to stretch my trades further. Yeah, it's a fact in my data. So it's not me I'm trying to just get big risk rewards. Of course, big risk rewards are nice, but you have to think about the process behind it, taking the trade, holding the trade all the way down to this low here. That's not going to be a smooth ride. There's going to be price. Say if it does get there, price is probably going to move down, move sideways, move up against me. It might take 2 weeks just to get here. So there's going to be a lot of uncomfortability holding trades for such big risk rewards. So you have to be ready for that type of battle as well. And of course, there will be times where price goes in my favor and it's running at 4-5R just to take me out break even as well. And there'll be times that, I wish I would have banked that 4-5R, but you didn't, because you're following a different trade management plan, which is perfectly fine, because the times that price does that, doesn't really pay too much. It doesn't really make too much of a difference when eventually you do get your big winners, which drive your P&L forward. So there's going to be drawbacks to pushing your trades further that you have to be aware of before doing it. But my data shows that there's evidence for me to push my trade, so I'll push my trade. And of course, if it's not working out for me over the next few months, then I'll change my management plan back to what I was doing before. Anyways, thanks, bro. No problem. Learning every day from you and your experience. Honored. Appreciate it. Again, that's what trading is all about. To be fair, it's all about experience at the end of the day. Which is, when people say that they're profitable, when you see those ads that say, "Oh, look at this guy, Billy Bob, he's profitable after just 2 months in the market." Yeah, that for me just smells of rubbish. I highly doubt anyone could have the know-how, the experience, the discipline, the mentality, to actually be profitable in 2 months, just because you just don't know that much about the market. It's not that you probably haven't understood the strategy in 2 months. You probably could, but just having that kind of know-how takes time. I would say at least 6 months to a year at least before you can even consider saying that you've got a hang of things. And of course, the more time you spend, the better, of course. We'll be keeping an eye on the Aussie dollar. Hopefully that can push down a little bit more. If not, I'll wait for the next candle. Might mean the entry could be down here, but again, 5 to 1, that's still a great risk reward. Okay, so I'll go through one pair quickly, because people have requested quite a few pairs to look at. I'll take a look at, I'll go for Euro Swiss real quick. Euro Swiss, I'm bearish bias. Oh, that is melting. Okay, looks like I've missed that trade. Is that Euro or Swiss? I think it might be Swiss actually. I did favor some shorts in Euro Swiss coming into the week over here. It didn't quite tag the trend line, which is what I missed. And now, obviously, as we can see, price is melting. But Euro Swiss is looking pretty bearish. I'm looking for price to come back into the lows here, and eventually the all-time lows on the left as well here. So Euro Swiss is pretty bearish. I think the ship might have left the docks there. Train left the station. I do still see more downside for Euro Swiss. So if you can find some entries on the lower time frames, I say go ahead. But it looks like I've missed the entry for that one. And again, I like Aussie Swiss as well, but it just hasn't tagged the trend line yet. Okay. Next 3-ish minutes. Let's see how this candle closes. At the moment, I wouldn't take the trade. I would. But of course, 3 minutes could change. let me start calculating my lot size. Bear with me, because I need to calculate my lot size for the funding pips challenge as well, and that's on MT5, because they don't have MT4. So I had to download MT5 on my phone and install on my computer. I've never used MT5 before, so I mean it's fairly similar to MT4, to be fair. So it's not too different, but yeah, I've never used MT5. Okay. And I will have to send a little picture out to the Telegram group as well. So what stop loss size are we working with here? If we get a closure around here, we're working with about a 21.7 pip stop loss. Okay. By the way, I use Baby Pips lot size calculator to calculate my lot size, if anyone was wondering. Okay, so 21.7. Okay, so we've got a minute left before the candle does close. Okay, so yeah, it looks like I will be taking the position. What is the stop loss? 0.63980. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, so sorry. But your boy's got to take a trade. It maybe should have some background music or something playing. But it's a bit late now. Okay, it's done. So sorry about that, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I had to take it on 3 accounts, and I don't have a trade copy yet. So I had to take it on my personal account, Funding Pips, Challenge account, and Darwin X account as well. So that was a lot I need to get. I need to get a trade copier. Let me just double check that I've got all the right things. Okay. Okay, you're good. You're good. And you're good as well. Nice. Okay, I'm good to go. Okay, and you actually post it on the download image, no, copy image. I just need to send it out on the Telegram before I forget. Okay. Haven't taken a trade on the stream in a while, so this is nice. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so entry 0.63763. 0.63763. Stop loss 0.63980. And target 0.61958. Done. I think. Yes, it is done. Okay, so we're back. Okay, so there's a bunch of pairs for me to go through, which I will go through, but let me just keep up to date with the chat. Game scenario, got it. I'm gonna keep journaling. I need to collect that data. Thanks. Yep. I mean that's our currency as traders. That's our gold, our commodity data. Whether you're purely quantitative and you focus on mechanical systems, or you're discretionary and you have some mechanical rules in there. Data's the hard evidence that what we're doing actually makes sense, and we're not gamblers at the end of the day. So yeah, keep collecting the data at all costs. Stefano, good morning. Hope you're well. Can you check Euro USD? Sure thing. Zark, there's a 3 and Forex calculator for PC. Auto calculates and opens risk. Okay, let me go take a look at that. I mean, I use baby pips, but I do have to punch in all the numbers and stuff. Dan Kirby, hi Miko, great to be here again today. Do you use TradingView to trade or only to chart with us? Yeah, I only use TradingView in terms of analysis. So I do use it in my personal trading, but it's only in terms of analysis. Basically in terms of analysis, plotting trades, setups, whatever. But I do not use it to trade. The broker I use, IC Markets, is not with TradingView. So I take all my trades on MT4 and execute on MT4, but I do all my analysis on TradingView. And it's the best chart, and it's the best website that gives you good, good technical tools to actually analyze the market. So so yeah, that's why I use TradingView and not MT4, because MT4 is a little bit ancient in terms of analysis. It's a little bit stiff, I would say. But yeah, TradingView is the best, so that's why I use it. I do open the same position. Let's go, nice. Morgan Doug, what's up? I am using a trade manager for MT5, really helps out. Okay, what's that trade manager? I mean, I've heard people talk about this stuff, but I've never used it. I've been quite stubborn with the way I trade at MT4, which is calculate my lot size on baby pips, and then just plug it in on MT4, which is just what I did. But I've heard people talk about risk manager. I need to get a trade copier first things first. Anus, I have this position sizer calculator installed on my MT4. You can calculate automatically there and enter with exact lot size by 2 clicks. Okay, that is nice. What's that called? Where do I find this stuff? Let me know. Must structure broken then entry. If you want to, I mean, I've already entered at my area of value, but if you want to wait for price to, let's say, break some structure first, and then you look for some entries here, I feel like if you're going to be doing that, you would probably drop into like the 15-minute for some entries. But I like my entry on the hourly time frame. It's where I want it to be. Stop loss in a healthy place as well. And so yeah, you can wait for the break of structure, but my entry has been set up, so I'm in the trade. And so I hope this will be a win for you, Miko. You deserve it. Appreciate it, Anus. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been taking trades consistently. Last week I didn't take any trades there. Nothing really set up. Well, one trade did set up, but I missed the entry. Before that, I think I had a loss in Aussie yen. Yeah, I think I had a loss in Aussie yen. So, but again, with the trade management, I don't need to win so often, because one of these winners, will drive the P&L quite nicely. Dan Kirby, how many you have here? Just copy this Eco's trade. You're asking around. I'll probably say quite a few, to be fair. Patrick, hey Miko, how you doing? I'm doing well. What website do you use to draw the graph? This is TradingView, if this is the website you're talking about. But yeah, I use TradingView to do my analysis and map things out. Just tradingview.com, and it should pop up. Should I enter the trade? It's up to you if you want to. Again, this is not really trying me, kind of advertise a signal here. This is literally just me actually trading the way I trade. People might take the trade as well. Feel free to take on the demo account. But this is just me trading. So unless the trade if the trade makes sense to you, and if it's a part of your plan, which it may or may not be, then of course do what you need to do. But if you just kind of tagging along, then feel free to trade on a demo account or just keep an eye on it. But yeah, it's not really me posting a signal out there. It's kind of just me trading, because I've got set up to trade. So hopefully that answers your question. No problem, Dan Kirby. I use the Forex Trade Manager, but there's others. Okay, I'll Google that after. That could come in handy. The stop loss is very tight. Yeah, it doesn't need to be big, to be fair. Just a few pips above the high. Again, that's how I normally keep my stop loss. If you want to give a bit more room to it, you can do as well. But I'm happy with the stop loss. And if I do get stopped out and price gives me a re-entry, then I'll be more than happy to get back into the trade as well. But yeah, I've just taken my first position on my Funding Pips challenge account. So I'll do like an introduction video to that one on Friday, like I did with my Forex funds. Let's hope Funding Pips don't shut down. That would be very nice indeed. But yeah, I'll be doing a video on Funding Pips 100k challenge, same as my Forex funds. Their rules are pretty the same thing as well, except the drawdown with this one I think is 10%, but the drawdown with my Forex funds was 12%. Target is still 8%. Phase 2 is still 5%. And yeah, pretty much everything else the same. Unlimited days. I don't think there's any minimum trading days, or if there is, it shouldn't bother me anyway. So yeah. Okay. It's free. I will send you a link to the video if you want here, where you can find the explanation there, link to the download it. Yeah, send it to me on Instagram or Telegram. Direct message me, because the links here, they don't come through. But if you send it to me on like Instagram or Telegram, one of the two will be fine. But yeah, I appreciate it. Hey Miko, if I may ask, have you ever thought of having a group of serious people who want to become fully committed in trading and having a Zoom session and sharing chart analysis? Yeah, I have considered it. I actually will be starting one pretty soon. I'm working on kind of the finer details behind the scenes, been doing that for a while now. So yeah, I will be creating one private Discord group. I'll be doing like webinars and personal kind of talk, chat to chat, face to face, one to one. So I will be doing that pretty soon. But yeah, I'll let you know when that does start. But I am working on it. And you didn't saw my third pit stop loss. There's no title big, only following plans. Yeah, so true. So true. Again, what one man's tight stop loss is another man's take profit, or pips they're looking to catch on their trade. You know, my stop loss is 21.7, but another person's take profit is 15 pips, so not even as wide as my stop loss. So yeah, at the end of the day, it is just following your plans at the end of the day. You might be passing a challenge in one trade. I'm getting 8 to 1R. No, I won't be passing in one trade. First of all, the position that I've taken on funding pips is 0.5%. Because the way I'm going to manage the account, I'll be taking a 0.5% risk until I'm up 2%, and then when I've got a bit of a buffer, then I'll increase to 1%. So the first trade I've taken is 0.5%. So even if I wasn't going to break even at 1R and take 25% partials, if I was just going to go flat out to 8.32, then it would only be 4% something gains. So yeah, first of all, I'll be taking partials at 1-to-1, which is not too far off now actually. Let me see where the 1-to-1 is. I need to mark it on the chart anyway. So 1-to-1 is approximately there. So yeah, when it gets to 1-to-1, I'll go to break even and take 25% partials, and then I'll let the rest run. But yeah, it's 0.5% of risk, and then when I'm up 2%, I'll increase it to 1. But yeah, if it was 1% and I wasn't taking any profit, then yeah, possibly. Never been the type of guy to try and pass a challenge in one trade. Yeah, appreciating this. Wanderlust, how do I get a funded account? Is it like legit? Yeah, that's the question that everyone's asking. At the end of the day, as I've said before, you know, funded accounts are kind of calculated risks. As we've seen with other funding companies that have gone under. Recently we had another one, I think Leveled Up Society closed down as well, although I don't know the ins and outs about that, I just heard about it online. But yeah, funding challenges are just a calculated risk. You know, you pay a lump sum for the account for the challenge. If you pass, you get your refund. At some stage, I think with funding pips, it's like the fourth payout, something like that. And if you get past, you know, you can trade it as you will. But I wouldn't say it's anything guaranteed or I mean, it's legit in terms of, you know, if you pay the money, I'm pretty sure they'll pay you if you get paid out and stuff. But yeah, at the end of the day, there is a bit of uncertainty around prop firms as well. So if you don't have the money for it, I highly suggest not doing it yet. If you do have the money to, you know, just give away, I don't know, $100, $200, whatever a challenge fee is, then you can go for it. But if you just search on Google, there's plenty to choose from. I'm using funded pips at the moment. Okay, thanks, Miko. I would love to join the group. Yeah, I'll do an announcement when I launch it. Is the trade on? Yes, it is on. Maru, hey Miko, can you check US 100? Yeah, there's a bunch of pairs I was supposed to go through. I'll go through them. John, yeah, Miko, the Zoom chat will be fine, man. I hope you're doing all right. Yeah, I'm doing good. Hope you're well too. Yeah, I will be doing something like that. I don't know if it'll be on Zoom or whatever, but something like a personal, like a group discussion thing. So yeah, I will be doing that in the future. Luca, can you show us how to calculate on baby pips? Yeah, I will. Browser trade active. Yes, it is active. Hello, FX Pununka, what is up? Wanderlust, what is up? Good looks or looks good? I'm not too sure which one you're talking about. But yeah, baby pips is pretty straightforward. Let me just drag this across. Can you all see that? Yes, you can. Again, I'm not sponsored by Baby Pips, although if Baby Pips wants to sponsor me, feel free. But yeah, this is me calculating my lot size for the 100k challenge for funding pips. So obviously balance 100k, 0.5% risk, 21.7 stop loss size, currency pair you're trading, calculate, and then 2.3 lots is the size I'm trading with. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Obviously the currency you're trading with there too, you just punch in the numbers, calculate, and this is your lot size you're trading with. So that's the lot size I'm trading with, put my stop loss where I need to be, my take profit as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But anyway, let me go through some pairs before I forget. So yeah, someone requested US 100. I'll take a look at pound USD, Euro USD. Those were requested too. Pound CAD, dollar CAD as well. Okay, I'll go through a bunch of dollar pairs first, indices, and then I'll take a look at yeah, I'll go for the dollar pairs first, and we'll go through some indices. So yeah, so I am bearish across the board with the dollar pairs. Of course, I'm shorting Aussie dollar at the moment, but Euro USD I'm still pretty bearish here. Pound USD I'm still pretty bearish. New Zealand dollar I'm still pretty bearish. Dollar Swiss I'm bullish, although this one failed to give me the entry I was looking for yesterday, so I didn't take a trade here. But I am still long bias on this one. Probably will let it go at the moment though, because it has broken through some confluence. Dollar CAD, I'm still bullish on this one as well, although we are failing at the highs here. It would be nice if price could start breaking to the upside and start clearing these levels. Then this will, give us a really nice buy opportunity here, because at this point we're now seeing successive higher lows and then looking for a retest somewhere. That would make sense to me. But if I expand and go to the higher time frames, I am looking at this bullish trend here continuing. And yeah, continuing back to the highs here eventually. We've got a lovely low down here, retesting some structure over here on the left. And now since then, the market's created a new higher low, new higher high. So what I'm looking at is a new higher low over here for a new higher high. So that's the plan for dollar CAD. But of course, we are failing at some resistance right now, which is here on the left. So I wouldn't say buys are ready just yet. But if dollar CAD can break to the upside and break above that level, then the buys become so much clearer, and you can take the next one on the retest. This will make for a nice target if you're looking for a bit more of a conservative take profit. That would make for a nice take profit back at the high. Or if you're trying to be a bit more aggressive, you've got the highs over here to pinpoint as well. But either which way, dollar CAD, I do see more upside, but I would wait for the resistance here to break before looking to buy. Because at the same time, again, we can still see a pretty aggressive sell-off from that level. We don't necessarily have to break to the upside. So yeah, I want evidence that we are becoming bullish again, and then look to follow that trend. Euro USD, likewise as well, I'm pretty bearish. I said coming into the week on my weekly analysis, I am looking for new lows past this point here. Longer term, I do see Euro USD coming to this level here on the left. So that's my longer term trajectory. But at the moment, Euro USD looks like it's having some retracement. I said coming to the week that I thought we were just going to see a seller from this area. Didn't quite happen. We did see a nice reaction yesterday, but of course the market has pulled back a little bit higher. Looks like it's come back to test some areas here on the lower time frames, and looks like we might be seeing a sell-off pretty soon as well. So for Euro USD, as long as we don't take out this high here, as long as we don't break past this point, I'm expecting us to go and take out the lows here and continue to the downside. So I think some shorts look pretty good at the moment for Euro USD. That would have been a nice entry signal over here, or even on this candle that's just closed. That would be a nice entry signal. Again, taking advantage of that move to the downside. Of course, I'm trading Aussie dollar at the moment, so I'm not trying to get into Euro USD as well because they'll probably both fail or both work. But at the moment in time, I do see a big move to the downside for Euro USD, and I do expect these lows to be taken out sooner or later. But I'm pretty bullish across the board on the dollar pairs. Dollar itself, the currency, but dollar pairs I'm bearish on. Pound USD likewise. This one's a little bit more choppy, but what I see here for pound USD is just a textbook impulse, consolidation, and then impulse, really. That's kind of what I'm seeing. If we do break to the upside, it might just be a fake out, so do watch out for that. But if we do see a big move, then maybe we're getting a reversal for pound USD. But at the moment in time, I'm just anticipating impulse, consolidation, and then impulse to the downside. So if you're looking to trade pound USD, if you're kind of happy to trade a ranging market at the moment, then shorts around this high here would make sense. Thank you so much, DJ Visky, for subscribing. That actually could be a nice entry candle in the next 35 minutes and capitalize on a break lower. But of course, I would be careful of these areas here just in case we rebound and come back up again. So with Aussie dollar, pound dollar, I've got Aussie dollar on the brain. With pound dollar, shorts do look good, and I do see price coming back to the swing low at 1.205, 1.20500 as well. So euro shorts, Aussie dollar shorts, pound shorts, New Zealand dollar, not really shorts for this one. I am bearish on the pair, but we are coming back into the lows pretty much, so I wouldn't look to short this one unless we start breaking some structure. That would make sense. Dollar Swiss, I'm not the biggest fan of the longs. Maybe we just faked out the low here on the left, grab some liquidity underneath, and now getting ready for the move up. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Dollar CAD, waiting for price to break above the resistance and then long. And dollar yen, not really interested at all. Price is at some real kind of significant highs here, so I'm not trying to do too much with dollar yen at these prices. Either reverse for us or break structure, and then I'll follow. So that's kind of my take on the dollar pairs going forward. I'll touch on some indices. So US 100, I was talking about some shorts yesterday. We were expecting this nice place here on the left. I said if we can hold this area here, I do see a big move to the downside for US 100, at least back into the lows here on the left at around 14,500. We can see the market printing these lower highs, so essentially just looking for another one to print and another push back down into that level. So pretty straightforward for US 100. Shorts look good for this one. Same thing with US 30 as well. In fact, I like US 30 a bit more than US 100, but equally as good as an opportunity. As we can see the successive lower highs, looking for another one to print there, and looking for price to return back into this level here. So I can see a big swing potentially for US 30 coming right back down and just kind of continuing this bearish trend of push, pull back, push, pull back, push. And that's why I see price nestling soon-ish. At the moment we're actually rejecting that level pretty well. So if you want to take some aggressive shorts, shorts around here, not too bad. Of course, you kind of take advantage of the full risk reward really. On the retest of that level. So indices look good for some sells and dollar pairs as well. Okay, so if it didn't make sense, let me know, by the way. Anyway, where was I? For this trade, may I ask what lot size you used? I used 2.3, I think 2.3. Wanderlust, is this your first funded, or have you actually done one and got paid out? No, this is my second funded. I do have a funded account with the funded trader, which I'm still trading, which I bought at the same time as my Forex funds. But this is my first funded account since my challenge got stopped by the CFTC with my Forex funds. So yeah, it's my first challenge since then. But yeah, I haven't done one since then. This is my first challenge, so we'll see how this one goes. Pound AUD, we'll take a look. I am new to your channel and I love it already. I appreciate it, Washington. Welcome to the channel. Andreas, what's up? What do you think of oil? We'll take a look at oil. Anus, don't forget to like. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. Make sure you hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future as well. But yeah, appreciate everyone who's liked and subscribed so far. Clement, what's up? Your strategy is very straightforward, easy to digest, but needs some patience. Of course, doesn't it all? And again, that's what you want as a strategy, as a trader. You don't want to be doing too much. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, we want to be profitable. We want to be making money. You want to do it systematically. And you want a strategy that, you know, you can easily apply to the markets. It makes sense to you. You're not doing too much. You're finding a bias. You can develop a bias pretty straightforward. You know exactly where you want to be getting involved, and you know exactly what you're looking for to enter into the market. You know, that's all you need in the strategy at the end of the day. Whatever strategy you're trading, whether you're doing this, that, doesn't really matter. As long as you've got something that can tell you your bias, tell you where you want to get involved, and tell you wherever your entry trigger is. Thank you so much, MD, for subscribing. That tells you what your entry trigger is and where you want to exit. That's all you need, really. And yeah, but I appreciate it. Bilal, what is up? Gold. Okay, we'll have a look. See, Lawware. Bro, please, what about CHFJY? Yep, we'll have a look. Kevin, what should you do if the price in a short position, instead of forming a new lower high, reverses become bullish again? This happened to me a few times. I mean, there's no kind of answer that I will tell you that will give you a magic thing that would just automatically kind of make you take advantage of the full reward you have there. And what I mean by that is basically, there will be times where you take a trade, price is going in a direction, and then suddenly price reverses and now it's going against you. You know, whatever strategy you trade, whatever you do in the market, there always will be that possibility that price could turn on you and head back to your entry. The best thing I can offer you is just make sure you have a management plan in place. Whether you're moving your stop loss to break even at a certain point, whether you take partials, whether you trail your stop loss, you know, whatever it is, you know, there is no right or wrong answer. You know, if you go look at a bunch of different traders, you know, they'll be doing different management techniques, doing different things, holding trades to different lengths. So there is no right or wrong answer. But I would suggest is just find something, find a method to manage your trades in. So for example, if you're floating in X amount of profit, say, I don't know, 2R, you know, and say whenever you're floating 2R, you go to break even. Something like that would just give you a systematic approach to the market. Yes, sometimes you will get stopped out, sometimes you'll get break even, and sometimes obviously price will hit your full targets, but at least you've got a plan in place, because when the market does reverse against you, you know, a lot of the time you're acting off emotion rather than actually a sensible reaction, because the market isn't straightforward. It's just not, price is not going to just drop to your target like that. You know, sometimes it does and it's fantastic, but often than not, you know, price is going to move for you, maybe a bit sideways, maybe move against you a little bit, maybe a fake out somewhere, and it'll get on its bike. You know, this is how price moves. And sometimes this move here might come back and take you out break even, and that's just life as a trader. You know, move your stop loss to break even at some point, protect your downside, you know, take some partials, pay yourself a little bit, and if it takes you out break even, you walk away for a small win, and you live to fight another day. And that's kind of my take on it. But in terms of every fluctuation in the market, possible reversal, I think you're doing too much. You're watching your trade too much as well. Give it room to breathe. Give it room to do what it needs to do. Anyway, so pound AUD oil. Was that the pairs? Yeah, pound AUD oil. So yeah, Swiss yen. I'll take a look as well. LDIFX holding the trade through news. Yes, we do have some building permits. I just had a check. We do have building permits with dollar coming out at 130. And again, as a swing trader, I can't not hold trades through news. Well, I can, but it just means that I'm never going to be swinging trades if I have to exit trades because of news. And again, I've back tested my strategy. It works with news. Of course, there will be times when news, catches me out. I get stopped out, maybe a bit of slippage here and there. That will happen. And again, I'm still profitable even if the market takes an extra 1-2% now and again here. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not too important. And again, in terms of the major news events like NFP, FOMC, I'm making sure I'm not entering just before those news. So, building permits, yes, might cause a bit of movement here in the markets, but I'm not expecting anything too crazy. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. I move on to the next position as well. So it's not the end of the world. But yeah, it's at 1:30, so in about 2 hours time from now. Hey, Dan Kirby, appreciate it. Is that 3 New Zealand dollars? Appreciate it. Is that the first donation in the New Zealand dollar? I don't know. Maybe not. Anyway, appreciate it, Dan. Okay, where was I? So gold is going up with the war. I have closed my last buy zone 1918, now on 1945. I am selling for the moment. However, it can go up more and hit 1968. Yeah, I agree. Everything is looking pretty bullish for gold at the moment, so I'm not interested in selling gold at the moment at all. In fact, if it does break through the highs here, I do like gold and some retracements and some pullbacks. I was actually looking at buying silver this week, but I missed the entry. Again, feel free to check me out on TradingView. Just search my name, and you can follow my analysis. But where was it? Where's silver? Oh, there. So yeah, I was looking for some buys for silver. It just missed the entry. It failed to tag my trend line there, but it did hold the zone quite nicely, and price is looking pretty bullish. And of course, silver does move very similar to gold as well. So for both of them, they're making similar moves. But yeah, gold's moving up pretty strongly as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we go and take out some of these highs here on the left too. So yeah, everything excuse me, everything's looking pretty bullish for gold. So I would kind of just wait for price to break out. I'm not looking at shorts whatsoever at the moment, but I'm waiting for price to break out and see what we can do on some pullbacks. Dan Kobe, thanks. I think it's good, so good to make an effort to go through all the comments. Legend, appreciate it. Forex God tier, the news can save gold to go down for a moment. Yeah, it's difficult because you're fighting a battle here. Is the news gonna push price down against the uncertainty with the war going on at the moment? It's a little bit. Anything could happen at any time, and then a big move can happen as well. So yeah, the fundamentals are kind of taking control over gold a little bit now. Wonderlust, okay, thanks for the response. Do you think GJ could be grabbing liquidity to head for a short to the last wick out on the downside? Okay, I'll take a look at pound GM. US 30 on the 5 minute, okay. Thanks for the detailed answer, Miko. No problem, Kevin. Happy to help. Can you show your Aussie dollar setup again? okay. Aussie CAD is also good. Have a sell trade running on the pair. Nice. Yeah, I'm pretty bearish on Aussie pairs in general. I was looking to short Aussie Swiss as well, but that one quite hasn't got my entry. But of course, I'm happy with Aussie dollar at the moment. Win, lose, or draw. But yeah, that is the trade at the moment. Again, it's a swing position. It's not going to be done, you know, in a couple of hours. Of course, it would be nice to see two giant bearish candles breaking lower, but that's just not how swinging the market works. So yeah, this might even take 2 weeks to play out, and it could still fail as well. Let's not forget that possibility too. But yeah, that's the position at the moment. That's where I'll go to break even. This is where I've got 1R at. So when price hits this level, or if it does hit that area, I'll go to break even, take 25% off, move my stop loss to break even, and let the market play out, either to take me out break even or drop to the downside, which would be very, very nice indeed. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I said I was going to take a look at oil. So oil, I'm pretty bullish on actually. I was talking about oil a lot last week, about price coming back into a very significant area on the weekly chart, which was this broken area of resistance here, simply turned support. So we had a big break of structure for oil not too long ago, which was this move here, breaking structure to the upside, taking out the high here on the left, giving us a new higher high. So I said last week was, now that we've seen a new higher high, simply we could just see oil pull back, retest some structure, and be on its way to the upside. And it looks like we are seeing that come into fruition. We've got a big level of resistance here. That looks like a nice target to aim for the next bullish move. If I go back to the daily chart, you know, simply all we're seeing is impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. So I think oil buys look pretty good. Of course, you know, fundamentally oil might be on the upside anyway. But in terms of the technicals too, I would argue the technicals, you know, already were pointing to the upside with this nice double bottom reversal. Now we're seeing some higher highs. So some pullbacks will look good. And retest of some structure here on the left as a nice place to look for some entries around 88.10, 87.37 will look good. And then from there, you can look for some buy positions, and depending how far you want to take the trade, you know, you've got a target up there around 93, 94 to target as well. But yeah, oil going forward, bullish on the weekly, bullish on the daily, bullish on the 4H. So you've got a lot of wind in the sails here for the buyers. Buyers are really taking control of the market. So I would avoid looking too short, and I would just focus on the longs and yeah, buying the dips with oil. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. After oil, I'll take a look at pound Aussie. There's a lot of comments, so I might miss out some pairs accidentally, but if I do miss that pair, just drop it down in the chat and again, and I'll take a look. But I'll take a look at pound Aussie next. Euro USD short thing, gold to hit 1960. Yeah, gold's looking pretty bullish. I wouldn't be surprised if we hit 1960 soon. Of course, we have some news coming up as well, so I wonder how that would affect the market. But in terms of what we're seeing in terms of technicals, market structure, I would not be surprised if we see 1960. Dollar CAD bias, I'm bullish on dollar CAD. CAD dollar on CAD oil sold by oil. 292 used oil forecasted. I mean, yeah, I mean, of course, CAD's going to be heavily affected with oil. I do expect to see oil continue to rise, which should be bullish for CAD as well. So that will be a sticky situation, because if CAD's bullish, then dollar has to be even more bullish than CAD to see dollar CAD rise. So that will be an interesting battle. But again, in terms of the technicals, I'm not ready to be buying dollar CAD just yet anyway. As I mentioned earlier, I want dollar CAD to be breaking above the resistance, then I'll consider some longs. If we don't break above the resistance there, then for all I know, we could be seeing price respect the resistance and fall off to the downside as well. So that definitely is a possibility. But if we can get above that, then from a technical point of view, I'll be happy to long the pair. Anyway, so pound Aussie. So pound Aussie, I was talking about some buys for this one yesterday, but the confluences don't quite stack out. We've just broken through a trend line not too long ago as well. Price is holding some broken resistance and support here on the left, but again, that's kind of the only confluence I've got. suggesting that pound AUD might see some upside. So I'm not so keen on the buys anymore for pound AUD. I do, however, like Euro AUD a little bit more, but pound AUD not so much. So with pound AUD breaking through that structure, I wouldn't be surprised if we see price come back up to this area and possibly look for a sell-off, something like this. Now that we've broken through the trend line, a lower high and a push back down to the lows here. So that is not a bad opportunity at all, something I'm looking at for pound AUD. Again, it's not really on my watch list. It's not a pair I'm focusing on at all at the moment. I've got a few pairs I'm looking at. Pound AUD is not one of them. But if I was, that's probably the best opportunity I could see at the moment. If price was to pull back, give me a lower high, sort of like a head and shoulder pattern, and then get the sell off from that. But yeah, I was favoring buys yesterday, but after breaking through the structure there, I've got to favor more downside at this point of view. So keep an eye on 1.92, but yeah, not the best opportunity in the world, I have to say. Okay, so CHF JPY I will take a look at. Almost forgot. And I'll go through pound yen as well. Forex gold tier gold, for me, we hit 90.60 in the end of the week, Friday, and today will go down. It's just a suggestion. However, the powerful uptrend of gold is very strong, so the risk of selling is very high. Yes, I would 100% agree as well. I think, just looking to sell gold just in terms of price action alone is very difficult because there's just so much momentum. So you're trying to call a top on such an aggressive move, unless you have like a wide stop loss with some buffer room, maybe it's a sensible position, but I don't think it is at all really. Yeah, a tight stop loss, short in gold, I think is a recipe for not disaster, because at the end of the day you just get stopped out if it's a losing trade, which of course if you're using appropriate risk management, it's not really a worry. If you lose 1% of your account, it's just a normal losing trade, which all traders incur. But yeah, if you short gold without stop loss and price just keeps rising, that's where things can get very, very ugly very quickly as well. Anyway, so Swiss yen. So this one just recently made some new highs. All-time highs to be exact as well, actually. These are new all-time highs, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, they are. Is it? Yes, they are. So, yeah, price just made some new all-time highs again. Swiss yen is a very, very bullish market. So I wouldn't say there's much to do at the moment in time. I know people are looking at Swiss yen here and going, okay, price is back at resistance again. Let me short the market from here. Maybe. I'm more of a trend trader. I focus more on following trends and following where the higher time frame momentum is. A setup like this does not go with the higher time frame momentum. It's against it. The higher time frame momentum is bullish. If you look at the monthly, weekly, daily, everything is up. Trying to short here on the 4H is just a little bit aggressive in my opinion. And the only confluence I've got here is that price is rejecting a big level of resistance as well. So there's just not a lot for the trade, but I've got a lot against the trade. So if you've got the two columns for against, I've probably got 8, 9, 10 things on the against and probably one thing on the for. So it's not a trade that I would take. It's not a trade that kind of fits my trading plan, my trading style. But of course, if you've got a plan, if you've got a style around this, then feel free to take the trades that you need to. But if you're asking for my opinion, I'll just stay away from Swiss yen for now. Either price is going to reverse from here and we get a nice bearish trend to follow, or price is going to react and break through and then there's some nice buys above it, and that would make a lot more sense in my book. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for with Swiss yen. Price to either commit to the upside, break above the high and keep going, and then I'll look to take advantage of the pullbacks, or price simply reverse, and then yeah, I'll be more than happy to take a break and retest somewhere below and then plan some shorts from that. That would make a lot more sense. So yeah, my outlook on Swiss yen is just neutral at the moment and waiting for a bit more development. I suppose you can be looking for some shorts here, but like I said, just not really a high probability trade for me. Pound yen, this one kind of just moving sideways at the moment. Like I said, I am neutral until we start seeing price break to the upside. I do like the buys here for pound yen. because it does look like the market's starting to print a big inverse head and shoulder. So I do like the buyers here to the upside, but first I want price to be breaking through the resistance, taking out the high, see a higher high, then the pullbacks after that make a lot more sense. I think at the moment with pound yen, we're kind of just ranging here. So I'm not really a fan of the price action in the middle here for pound yen. Therefore, I'd kind of stay away. If we do break lower for pound yen, then sure, we might be coming to the low of the bodies, potentially the low of the wick. But nothing's kind of cemented in terms of my bias. I actually prefer the buys at the moment rather than the sells. But of course, I do need to see this up move first for the buys to be valid, and then the pullbacks after that will be something to plan some entries on. But yeah, I would say for pound yen, I'm neutral just because of how price has been moving over the past few days. I'm neutral. I think the price action is actually very similar to pound, because pound USDs obviously had this impulse, then the consolidation, and then I'm looking at another impulse to the downside. And if you compare that to, if I copy this, if you compare that to pound yen, it's actually pretty similar with the impulse down, the consolidation, and possibly a move down. Of course, pound yen and pound USD are very similar markets, but the only reason why I like pound USD and why I'm not neutral here is because pound USD has been trending to the downside for quite a while, and we've got an established bearish trend here. And as a trend trader, someone who likes momentum, this makes sense. In terms of the probability, we're likely to come back to this low. Whereas pound yen, if I zoom out, the trend's actually in the opposite direction. So that's why I'm a bit more neutral. But yeah, if pound yen is going to follow pound USD, then we might see that move. But I think you're much better off trading pound USD than pound yen, because just there's a lot more for it. But yeah, that's kind of where my stance is on them. Okay, so I'll drop to US 30 on the 5 minute quickly. I'll do Euro USD in a second. I'll go over gold as well quickly. No problem, happy to help. Okay, so US 30 5 minute chart. Again, I never look at the 5 minute chart for me personally. It's always just for someone else who requests it. But let's see what's cooking on the 5 minute. So of course, just quickly, my high time frame bias is a move to the downside. I'm looking at price coming back into these lows essentially. So my bias is a longer term move down. So if we can get some shorts for the 5 minute, that would be fantastic. Okay, so the price action on the 5 minute is absolutely horrendous at the moment. Looks like we had a big move to the upside, taking up this high here as a big kind of fake out. Prices come back down. If we can start clearing out some of these lows here, then I think we can probably find some nice positions beyond that. Yeah, it's just sideways at the moment. I wouldn't even like a breaking test of this low, I would argue against it. Just because the market conditions are so choppy, it doesn't make any sense for any break and retest in these conditions. If we can start to cement a bit more of a trend and actually start taking out some key lows like this one on the left, then yeah, some shorts below that would make a lot more sense. So yeah, I do like the shorts on the 5 minute. If we can start committing to the downside, taking out some important lows, of course, it lines up with my high time frame forecast for US 30 as well, so that's an added bonus. But at the moment on the 5 minute scale, we're kind of just moving sideways if anything, so I would avoid trading the 5 minute for now, especially with news in about an hour and a half time as well. I think if you commit to the downside and then look for some pullbacks after that, could be some nice entries there on the 5 minute. But let me know what you're looking at for US 30 and the 5. That just looks horrendous to me. Anyway, so okay, I'll take a look at Aussie CAD. I'll go through gold shortly as well. Euro USD too. So yeah, Aussie CAD, it's another Aussie pair. I do like the Aussies for the sells, but not quite Aussie CAD. I said I wanted this one to go a little bit higher into this area here before I consider shorting. And again, Aussie CAD's not my watch list, so I wouldn't consider shorting anyway. But if I was considering getting involved with Aussie CAD, this would be the area I would look to do it. Because again, high time frames are still pretty bearish. I'm looking at a longer term move into this low on the weekly chart. So I still do see more downside for Aussie CAD in the long run. However, at the moment, we're kind of just bouncing off this low here. So the market is finding some frictions, having a hard time trying to break the low. So it does look like if we can get a move back into the high of the descending channel, because all we've seen price do is basically just swing back and forth. So if you can get a move back into the high, this is a nice place to get involved. Stop loss above the high. That's a pretty safe stop loss, because if the market was to hit your stop loss, it's either a fake out or prices are going to reverse. And if it is a fake out, you can always get back in if price does give you another entry signal. So that's kind of the soft spot I have for Aussie CAD for some sells. Anything in this area, price is reacting with some of the levels there in the lower time frames, but nothing that I would consider shorting from. But yeah, I am bearish on the Aussie CAD, Aussie Swiss as well. Aussie dollar, of course, I'm shorting. Aussie yen, not so much. That one's kind of just a bit weird. I have to admit, I mean, the price action is horrendous. This is just kind of moving sideways, so I'm not looking at Aussie yen at all. But if we can actually start breaking highs, then maybe there's some nice buys on top of that. Get some high lows going and start attacking the highs down the left. That might make some sense, but at the moment, I'm not a fan of Aussie yen. Okay, so gold, a lot of people talking about gold. So yeah, gold, everything's extremely bullish. 1960 is price taking out the high here on the left, because this high is trading at around 1954. So yeah, like I said, with the inverse head and shoulders, sorry, with the V-shaped pattern we got here on the daily, very impulsive move to downside, very impulsive move back up again. These moves here typically mean that the market's likely to reverse in the opposite direction and continue to move higher. These are normally reversal type patterns. They normally mean the market fake to go one way, so it can go the other. And it's just the aggressive nature of the move as well. It's such a strong move down, followed by equally as strong move back up again. Typically, we would expect the market now to head higher. So even from a daily chart, I can see the market going higher. Therefore, I'm staying away from any sells. And even if I wanted to sell it, I wouldn't, because it's just so much bullish momentum at the moment, and it's difficult to find a nice place to do that. So yeah, in my books, I'm pretty bullish on dollar. I am bullish on dollar, but I'm pretty bullish on gold, even though I'm bullish on dollar, which doesn't make sense in terms of correlation. But at the moment, we're not really seeing correlation at the moment, because of course there are a lot of external factors that are affecting the pricing of gold. So that goes out the window, as we saw during Russia-Ukraine, as we saw during COVID as well. When we see these big events happening around the world that cause a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear, gold's being bought up, and it doesn't matter what dollar is doing. Gold will keep moving up. We saw that beautifully during COVID. We saw that beautifully during Ukraine and Russia when that first kind of came out. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see gold continuing being bullish and dollar being bullish as well, but just gold being stronger. So yeah, I am on the bullish side of things with gold. I wouldn't be surprised if you see 1960. This is a big zone that I've drawn up on the daily chart here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we break through. Doesn't mean I'm looking to buy, however. I'm not really looking to buy gold at these prices. I would like to see a bigger retracement. Gold's moved way too far for me to consider buying. Of course, some of you guys on the lower time frames, so you can take advantage of that. But for me, myself, and I, yeah, the ship has kind of sailed, so I'm not really focused on gold. I was liking silver at the start of the week, but it looks like I've missed that opportunity as well, as prices are continuing higher. But yeah, I do favor another move higher for DXY, but I think gold will just move to the upside regardless of that situation. Euro USD, I'll take a look at Euro USD quickly, and I'll take a look at dollar CAD as well. But yeah, like I said, I'm expecting a move down. So Euro USD, this is what I'm looking at. This is my forecast. The market has been pretty successful with all of these lower highs here. So I'm looking at the market kind of continuing that pattern and coming back into the lows, essentially. We did break through some structure last week, but I'm looking at this being just a fake out price, grabbing liquidity above the high here, just to be on its way again to the downside. So I know we have broken through some structure on the left, which could potentially mean a reversal, but I think take into account the bigger picture, the higher time frames, the fact that we've had a lovely break and retest of this level here on the left as well. Probability for me is still to the downside, so I'm looking at Euro USD selling off. I did say, this would be a nice entry signal in the last hourly candle, or that one there from yesterday. But yeah, I do expect to see Euro USD drop and come and take out these lows. Same with pound as well, and of course same with Aussie dollar, which is the trade I'm currently in. New Zealand dollar, I expect the same too, although this one's coming back into support, so I wouldn't suggest getting to any sells at the moment. Dollar Swiss is a little bit choppy, but I can still see a move higher. Dollar CAD as well, I'm looking for a move higher as well, but I want price to break through that resistance first, and then we'll talk about some break and retest and some longs. So yeah, guys, that's kind of what I'm looking at going into the rest of the week. I mean, in terms of other pairs I'm looking at, I'm still eyeing up dollar Swiss, but now that I've jumped into Aussie dollar, I'm not so particularly keen in jumping to another Aussie pair until I can go to break even on my first position. If I can get to another pair which is not correlated to Aussie at all, then yeah, I'll take the trade. But any pair with dollar or Aussie, I'll refrain from getting involved until I can get my trade to break even or I get stopped out, and then I'll look to proceed from there onwards. But yeah, that's kind of where my focus is at with the dollar pairs going forward. But I will be live again tomorrow as well, guys. For anyone new coming onto the stream, the channel, I do live stream every Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. UK time. I do share my analysis, my trades for many trades. You guys can share your trades if you want to, share your outlooks. We'll discuss back and forth. I'll share my experience, so can you guys as well. And yeah, talk everything trading. I do have a Telegram link in the description where I do post my trades there, my analysis, my setups, my watch list for the week as well. So if you do want to check out the Telegram, links in the description to that. But I will be live again tomorrow on my channel as well to go over the analysis. Of course, I'll give you an update on how the trade's going as well. But yeah, guys, we have come up to the end of the stream. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Anus, again, for coming to the stream, moderating. Really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone as well who chatted to me. Thank you for the donation earlier as well. Really do appreciate it. But yeah, guys, I'll keep you guys up to date. Of course, we'll see how things go with my Aussie dollar short position. But yeah, I think I'll wait for this one to get to break even before I look to get into any more trades. But if I do get into anything else, I will let you know in the Telegram, of course. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming to the stream, and I will catch you all tomorrow.